How's it going, guys and gals? This is Anthony, and today this is the first of 3 videos that are gonna be posted. Okay, and first off is gonna be the Raw on Netflix review, or because the SmackDown review was gonna be uploaded first, but I'm waiting for a copyright claim because WWE for an image copyright claimed the video, so I'm waiting for that. That video may come out on after this one, and at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Superstar Turmoil match on Legend difficulty is gonna be up on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Obviously this is a big deal. The first Raw being broadcast, being simulcast for the first time ever live around the world on Netflix. We started off with Triple H, the promo, that we saw earlier on social media, with the history of the company, like the art of the babyface and the heel and all of that stuff. Since that was uploaded before the show began, I'm not gonna touch it, but cool. Then after that, The Rock came out, and man, I have a lot to talk about The Rock segment, because the last time we saw The Rock, he was a heel. And he's coming out, like they're showing his mom, his daughters, he's shaking hands with the fans. They put up what he did on Instagram Live, greeting the wrestlers backstage. And I'm like, I wrote this during The Rock's entrance. Why in the F-bomb is Rock shaking hands with the fans when he's an F-bomb heel? And then, he was talking about, his dad, and he was talking about putting over Cody, how for almost a year he's been the face of the company as the WWE champion on SmackDown, and Roman Reigns, as they are the two top baby faces in the company, so he put them both over. But then he's like, hey Cody. So when he said that, I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. And then it's like he's making jokes. It's like, tell Mama Rota I said hi. And Cody starts laughing, and I put her, Cody, Rock beat the hell out of you. I'm sorry, I am so mad about this, but I understand The Rock has a busy schedule in 2025. He's not gonna be able to be on Mania, so you had to drop the angle. I understand, but still, let us see some tension between these two guys. Like, let us see some tension, because it made that segment on the Raw after WrestleMania 40 meaningless. What did The Rock give Cody? Now we'll never know, because all of a sudden The Rock has turned babyface. And I put her, Cody, Rock beat the hell out of you with the help of the bloodline, and you're laughing at his jokes? But then, there were rumors that he's not gonna be available for WrestleMania, so I kind of understand you have to blow that angle off in this way. So let's just say that in kayfabe, he gave Cody Dusty's watch that he pawned. I mean, that is the only explanation in storyline that I can give you. And so, uh, after The Rock turning babyface, because this was just like a corporate, we're live on Netflix type of promo and putting over the two top baby faces, it was nothing else. So the show started with Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat. Oh God. Solo Sikoa does not have the it factor. He has to lose weight and he needs to develop a personality. Because at one moment in the match, this was I'm sorry, I just twisted the phone, but it's so stupid because literally not even 6 minutes into the match, Solo gets lost, and you can see in clear view of the camera. You can go back on Netflix and watch it. In clear view of the camera, Roman Reigns has to put his hand on his mouth and tell Solo what to do. And at that moment, I'm like, and then the ref forgets the stipulation. For some reason, he's telling Solo, "Don't you dare bring tables and chairs to the ring." I'm like, Tribal Combat is no disqualification. So this was F-bomb. This match went down the rails when Solo got lost. And thank God Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu came in. Because I'm like, finally, thank you for saving me from the suffering of watching a Solo Sikoa match. I mean, oh God, Solo Sikoa, if at least he was a good worker, I at least would have been entertained with the match. Even if he doesn't have the it factor. But, it's bad if you don't have one of the two. It's even worse if you don't have neither of those. And once again, as I always say, that's my opinion. And the First Amendment says freedom of speech. So Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu came in, and I'm like, thank God. You see, God is real. Take that, atheist. That's what I've said while my girlfriend was on the phone. And then, to do the save, Sammy and Jimmy came in. And, Solo gives Roman the summon spike. Roman kicks out. So what they did was, and Jimmy and Sammy fend off Jacob and Tama Tonga. They get into the ring. Super kick to Solo. Sammy gives him the Helluva kick. Roman does the spear. 1, 2, Solo kicks out. And then Sammy and Jimmy go check on Roman. And now the three of them. And now Sammy with Jacob and Jimmy with Tama, they fight off. Now it's only Roman and Solo. And and this was out of nowhere. I did not expect this. When Roman is ready to do the spear, Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and gives Roman the stunner. He's telling Solo, beat the hell out of him. And he's beating the hell out of Roman. And Cody comes in to do the save. So now Roman does the spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns recovers the Ula Fala. And is once again our only tribal chief. Oh, and I forgot to mention, great intro from Paul Heyman to Roman Reigns. The reigning, defending, undisputed OTC Roman Reigns. I mean, I I had Solo winning because I was thinking, hey, maybe Heyman turns on Roman. I don't know. But the twist of Kevin Owens interfering makes sense, because the gist of the story between Roman and Kevin Owens is that Cody and Roman teamed up in Bad Blood. That's why Kevin Owens turned heel. So by that happening, I'm like, okay, cool, nice, let's do this. But the thing is, this makes it pretty interesting at the Royal Rumble, because I think on the Rumble, Cody's retaining the title. Cody's retaining the title. And but I had Randy Orton interfering in that match, Randy Orton costing Kevin Owens the title. Now we need to put into that equation Roman Reigns gets involved in that match and cost Kevin Owens the title. Because literally, if we really think about it, Cody Rhodes was the one that ultimately helped Roman regain the Ulafala. So in a way, Roman owes Cody. Or maybe they're even, because the Bloodline was beating the hell out of Cody after their match in Bad Blood, and Roman and Jimmy made the save. So maybe they're even. I don't know. But now he has problems with Kevin Owens, which he has to solve. And now the thing is, we're not gonna see Roman until January 27th. And I just want to talk about this later on the show. Roman and Heyman are backstage, and that is when Roman says he'll be returning on January 27th. So Roman's not gonna be on TV for the next 3 weeks. And they go into a locker room, and the door says WWE 2K25. So that makes me think that Roman's gonna be the cover star for the standard edition, and maybe for the deluxe edition, maybe Punk and Cena for the deluxe edition, because this is the farewell tour for Cena. So you gotta give him something that matters. So but now that I think about it, Cena was the cover for WWE 2K23. So it's too early for him to be the cover again. I mean, he was also the cover for WWE 2K15. So, like, it was 8 years apart. And that makes sense. So what I'm thinking is, if Roman is the standard edition guy, the standard edition cover guy, that means that the showcase for WWE 2K25 must revolve around him, right? It should revolve around him. Maybe the WWE 2K25 showcase is gonna be about the Bloodline story, from the beginning of the Bloodline until Tribal Combat. Who knows? We need to what I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see until January 28th where we're gonna get details. And obviously I'm gonna react to the trailer and give you a breakdown on January 28th, which is awesome. And and I forgot to mention The Rock came out after Roman won and gave and put the Olafala around Roman's neck, and they shook hands and went out of the ring together. But something interesting, they never called The Rock the final boss. They were calling him the High Chief. So maybe the rumors that WrestleMania 42 was gonna be Roman and Rock is true, because you gotta remember, 2025, WrestleMania 41 in the US and Puerto Rico is gonna be broadcast on Peacock. In the US and Puerto Rico. Everywhere else in the world are gonna watch it on Netflix, but WrestleMania 42 is gonna be the first ever WrestleMania simulcast all around the world on Netflix. So we need to think about that. We need to think about that. So we just gotta watch and see what may happen. Oh, and I put about the Solo and Roman match. I wrote down awful match, great finish. After that, John Cena came out to kick off his farewell tour, and I started crying during that promo because he is my hero. I started watching wrestling in 2000. I started watching wrestling earlier, but American wrestling in 2004. SmackDown. Back when he was the US champion, basic economics. And he became my favorite guy ever since. So this is, I was pretty emotional during that promo. And he's talking about how he hasn't won a singles match in almost 7 years. And I'm like, yes, John, we know. So this was just John Cena styling the hell out of us, edging the fans just to say that the only way for him to get a world title match is if he wins the Royal Rumble. So he's declaring for the Rumble. That was literally the promo. After that, we had Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. The two previous matches that these two ladies have had were passable at best. The SummerSlam match was not pretty good. That Bad Blood match was awful just because of the Raquel Rodriguez botch. And ever since that botch, this feud has not been able to recover. But I thought, these two ladies dance pretty good on Monday Night Raw. So I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Kudos to both of them. Kudos to both of them. Ultimately, Rhea gave Liv the Riptide. 1, 2, Liv kicked out. So she becomes the first woman on the main roster to ever kick out of the Riptide. Which they didn't do a pretty big deal about it, because even Becky on WrestleMania 40, as far as I could remember, did not kick out of the Riptide, if I'm not mistaken. Or did she? I don't remember. But I think that Liv is the first one. So after this, Dominic and Raquel distract the ref. Raquel drops a chair inside the ring. Liv gives Rhea the Oblivion on the chair. 1, 2, Rhea kicks out. And after that, 2 more Riptides. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is your new Women's World Champion. This match was decent. If you watch it, it's okay. But if you don't watch it, you don't have to. I mean, what I thought was pretty interesting was the aftermatch. Because as Rhea is celebrating, Dominic T's attacking Rhea Ripley. And Rhea gave Dominic the Riptide, so practically this feud is completely over. Which means that both Rhea and Liv are gonna move on to other rivalries after Monday. But what really got me thinking was, in the Netflix era, if the story is adequate, if the story needs it, let's put it that way, if the story needs it, if the story needs something like this, are we gonna have a male wrestler attacking a female wrestler on Raw if the story needs that to move forward? They gave us a tease of it. I think it's really something that we need to start questioning. And I'm like, if the story needs that to move forward, do it. Don't do it just for the shock value. Oh my God, a man did that to a woman. No, if the story needs that to move forward, you do it. And then as Rhea is celebrating on top of the ramp, the gong sounds and the American Badass comes out and practically, gives Rhea the rub. And we go to commercial. I know that in the US and Puerto Rico, where I live, we had commercials. I know that the rest of the world on Netflix did not have commercials. You guys had promos. The US and Puerto Rico did not see that. So if you guys can send links of those promos to me, please do on the comments down below, because I did not see any of that. And where are my notes? Oh, here. So we saw Adam Pearce backstage, but before that we saw the mask once again, and it's confirmed. The name came out and it says Penta. So Penta is confirmed to be coming. They finally made it official. Penta is coming to Raw. So Adam Pearce is backstage talking to Bayley. I think it was Kathy Kelly, right? That goes to Adam Pearce after she finishes talking with Bayley. And American May comes in and he's asking for competition. And Adam Pearce says, okay, I'll give you a luchador next week. And Gable says, okay. So that segment set up that match for next week between Chad Gable and a Mexican luchador, which we all know it's gonna be Penta. We all know that, because a luchador is coming. The vignettes have finally rebuilt the name of Penta, so we know that it's gonna be Penta versus Chad Gable next week. We had a Wyatt 6 clue, but I don't know what that is, because Puerto Rico and the US had commercials, so we didn't see that. Only a friend of mine sent me a message because he saw it on Twitter, but I don't know nothing about that. Then we had Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. and I thought it was a good match. I mean, the finish was kind of messed up because Jay wins with a roll up, but he couldn't do the roll up like in one smooth move, so that kind of messed it up. But hey, I thought this was a pretty good match considering how Jay's offense is. And the best thing was Travis Scott smoking a joint during Jey Uso's entrance because he came out with Jey Uso, and the Intuit Dome was awesome for Jay's entrance. It looked amazing. The Intuit Dome is the best thing to ever happen in the history of the Los Angeles Clippers. That sorry ass excuse of a franchise. And I am a Spurs fan, so we know what winning feels like. 5 titles, 6 finals. If it wasn't for Ray Allen, Duncan would have been 6-0 in the finals, but that's besides the point. Yes, I'm still salty about Ray Allen and that stupid bald idiot for doing that 3-point shot. It's been almost 12 years and I have nightmares about it still. But now that I took that out of my system to diss the Clippers, we also saw some celebrities. We saw Macaulay Culkin, which had one of the biggest pops of the night. We had Daniel Fisher, we had Vanessa Hudgens, we had Bill Simmons from The Ringer, and obviously in typical Bill Simmons fashion, he's in LA. So what did he do? He posts out on his phone a wallpaper of the Boston Celtics logo. That, I do not curse that much, and I am a Spurs fan, so I can say, fuck the Lakers and fuck the Celtics. Sorry. Bill pissed me off with that one, and I forgot to mention that after the John Cena promo, we had a Logan Paul promo, and he was in the crowd. We had Naomi, we had Bianca on the crowd. On the VIP area, the wrestlers were having a party, and they knew they were anti-socials, which is awesome. We had the Viking Raiders on the crowd. We had Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Shinsuke Nakamura. We had LA Knight. The people that were on the crowd were mostly the SmackDown people. Most of them, except for Dakota, Io, and Lyra. So, and after the Jay and Drew match, we had a Gunther promo, which I'm just gonna say it. Gunther doesn't know how to do a promo. He's learning on the fly how to express himself in front of an American audience, and it feels, I don't know, man. You know how I've said about Gunther in the past and his promo ability. I'm not gonna go on another rant about it, but this one I thought was passable. Backstage, we had a backstage interview with Jackie Redmond and Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, which they knew they interrupted, saying like, we rejected to have a match tonight so we can have a backstage interview, and you gave our time to Fluffy? And then in defense of Fluffy, the Alpha Babes came in, Otis, Tosawa, and Maxime Dupri. And practically, came in the defense of Fluffy. And when they knew they were about to speak, they said that their time was finalized and they were not able to do their backstage interview, and knew they whined about it, blaming Gabriel Iglesias, and that no one's gonna watch his comedy special on Netflix, which after this review I am gonna watch. That's all I'm gonna say. And after that, We already talked about the WWE 2K25 reveal. We had the Hulk Hogan promo. Oh God, whose idea was it? This is all I'm gonna ask. Hulk Hogan as a person, not very good. As a wrestler, as a personality, possibly the GOAT. But man, whose idea was it to bring a Republican Party supporter in the most Democrat state of the US? The only Republican that was gonna get cheered was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he wasn't even there. That was gonna be the only Republican that was gonna get cheered no matter what. And they bring Hogan, and I felt bad for Jimmy Hart because the people were booing. And you know, the whole Hogan promo was just a plug-in for his Real American beer. That's gonna be a sponsor for WWE. But once again, whose idea was it to bring such a MAGA supporter into the most Democrat state of the US? Because that is just bad marketing. If you were gonna bring Hogan in, let him appear on Saturday night's main event, which is gonna be on Texas. Texas is MAGA. He was gonna get cheered there. Look, you made me feel sorry for Hogan because he was trying to rally the people behind him and he just couldn't do it. And you know, I am Puerto Rican. I do not get involved in US politics because we cannot vote for the president. So I cannot have my say on anything of that. But the marketing team should be fired. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if you were gonna bring a Republican there, have Arnold. He was gonna get cheered no matter what. I feel bad for Jimmy Hart. But the best thing of this promo was Hogan having the shirt of Netflix Gets Raw. That was awesome. I'm sorry. I love that shirt. I need to get that shirt. But obviously, I think it's going to be a limited edition, so that sucks. And now we get to the main event. 12 years in the making. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. This match had a little too much of false finishes for my liking. But was it good? Yes. And I think Seth Rollins messed up his knee again. Because sometimes Seth Rollins is a little bit too inderific. And I hate when people get inderific because they do stupid stuff. I almost cursed. I promised I wasn't gonna curse, so okay. So what the hell was this match? That's all I'm gonna say. What the hell was this? I don't know, man. What the hell was with all of the false finishes? Was it a good match? Yeah. Was it great? Maybe. But I hated too much of the false finish. I mean, why use the pedigree? Why did Seth Rollins use the pedigree 2 times? And then Punk used it once. Why? That is my only nitpick in this match, the pedigree. Because Rollins using the GTS and Punk kicking out, that was good. Punk doing the stomp and Rollins kicking out, that was good. Because those are the guys that do their own finishers, so they should know how to lessen the impact to be able to kick out. So that made sense, logically. The pedigree did not. And obviously, The finish came around when Rollins went to do the superplex, and when he was about to do the Falcon Arrow GTS, he falls to the ropes and falls on top of CM Punk, just like Jon Moxley did on All Out 2022. Punk picks him up again. GTS 1, 2, 3. Punk's win in the main event. And on the post show, which you can see on the Netflix YouTube channel, CM Punk said that this match was dedicated to Chris Bay, who broke his neck on TNA Bound for Glory. Shout out Chris Bay, I hope you're doing better, man. And you could be back wrestling. Please. And he said that his next stops are Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. Cody, Gunther, you're not safe. And that he's still the best in the world. And that Heyman still owes him a favor. That was Punk's promo on the post show. And Rollins left the ring real mad. So I think we are gonna see. I mean, I don't know, because with the rumors that are going on, maybe Rollins at the end of the day is not gonna go heel. Because the rumor is that going around is that it's going to be Gunther and Rollins on Mania, Punk and Roman, and Cody versus Cena. Which, doing Cody versus Cena is a horrible idea. It's babyface versus babyface. And with the story that you're telling, the crowd is going to turn on Cody. But hey, maybe they have better ideas than me, which I hope. But yeah, man, that was the Raw debut on Netflix. This was a show for the casual audience, which I completely understand. I have no problems with that. The only thing that really pissed me off was the repeated use, the bastardization, or whatever the hell you say it, of the pedigree, and the super retcon that they did on the Cody, Roman, and Rock storylines. On the opening promo of the show. But besides that, I mean, Rock's not gonna be available, so you're not gonna be able to do that match. So drop the angle. Have them hug it out, just like Daniel Bryan and Kane. Hug it out. I mean, yeah, but at least Team Hell No led to the Yes Movement. So at least that, on hindsight, had a purpose. This has no purpose. But anyways, this was the Raw debut on Netflix, guys. If you like this type of content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, cherish beautiful moments with your families. Create beautiful memories, because life's too short, but those memories last a lifetime. As always, this is Anthony, signing off. Bye-bye.